Hello and welcome to Take Foot 2. On today's episode on I42, we talk to Maria Omare, the team leader at Action Foundation, a facility set out to help those with disabilities in Kibera slum. She talks to us about how her team is changing the lives of the community and helping young children with disabilities find their ability in the community. Every dawn is an opportunity to unravel untold stories and the amazing work that people are doing out there. And I got to spend a little time with our friends at the Action Foundation, going by the fact that they are having a walk in December 10th, Walk With Me, in support of the children they work with who have disabilities, because disability is not an inability, and just to celebrate our kin with disabilities and just give some support to them. So get to unravel with me this safe haven in Kibera slum that is changing the community and the lives of those who have disabilities but have a lot to offer the world.
My name is Maria Omare. I am the team leader at the Action Foundation. I am also a nutritionist. My background is in nutrition. I studied in Kenyatta University. The second born in a family of three. I have a younger and an older brother, and I have two amazing parents and a great extended family. I love baking, I love singing, I love poetry, walking around in nature. I really enjoy spending time outdoors. But most of all, I love reading. I can sit in the house and read the whole day. But yeah, I don't get enough time to do that of late, but I really enjoy reading. The Action Foundation is a non-profit organization registered in Kenya. We are a grassroots organization where we work closely with community members. Our main operational area at the moment is Kibera. So our mission is to break the barriers that prevent the inclusion of children and young people with disabilities. And we do this through rehabilitation and care, psychosocial support of their caregivers. We have an economic empowerment component as well, where we teach their caregivers income generating skills, give them business startup kits where they can run and manage their small scale businesses. Then most importantly, we advocate for the rights of people with disabilities through different avenues. When we started Action Foundation, starting a center such as this one, it came naturally that we should charity begins at home, so we should start from where I'm from, a place where I'm familiar with. And I was also familiar with the needs of the people of Kibera. And our passion lies in transforming the lives of people with disabilities. So I thought, why not start closer home? So yeah, I'm a nutritionist, and people don't really think much about this, but nutrition is very, very important to the health of every single person. But when it comes to children with different types of disabilities, nutrition plays a key aspect in helping them cope and also helping them get better wholesomely. For example, children with cerebral palsy, many of our kids who have cerebral palsy have difficulties in feeding. They have difficulties in also positioning while taking their meals. So nutrition is through nutrition we're able to advise their caregivers on what to feed them, how to feed them, how to even change their meals so that their kids can get the best out of the food that they're given. So nutrition plays a big role in what we do. And right here we also have a feeding program where we give them 2 meals in a day. We have 10 o'clock enriched porridge, and lunch varies every single day. So for us, we believe that nutrition is very, very important for the health of our kids. We are a team of 6 individuals. I'll start from Sarah. Sarah is our programs coordinator. She's in charge of the day-to-day running of the activities at our center, and also our advocacy efforts and our other programs, both within Kibera and outside Kibera. There's Nicholas. Nicholas is our field officer. He's the one who you call when there's a child with disability being kept at home and you want that parent or that child to be assisted. Nicholas will come to you. He will also bring together, for example, where necessary, the chief and a social worker to advise the parent that keeping the child at home is not the best option. Why not bring them to us and we can assist? And also, part of what we do involves home-based therapy. So Nicholas identifies in such cases, and we go to the homes for the therapy. There's Victor. Victor is an occupational therapist, and we also have a physiotherapist. Irene was working with us and she had to leave, so we are currently looking for a physiotherapist. There's Priska, she's the lady in charge of our center. She's the admin. And finally, there's Mama Jenny, who is our house mother. At Action Foundation, we adopt a holistic approach to how we work with our kids. So we don't just do therapy and nutrition and like medical support, but we also look at how can our kids be socially included in the community. And how we've been able to achieve that is through art. We love art. When you look at our center, it's colorful, there are paintings all over. So art is core to what we do. So we have holiday art activities for children with and without disabilities, where they come together to create art and dance together, play together. We also have in over some holiday periods, we have music. So art is core to what we do, because we believe that not all our kids are able to excel in academics based on their challenges, but some are extremely talented when it comes to art and craft. And also for some of our kids who don't have speech, that means they cannot communicate verbally, the mode of communication is through drawing and writing and coloring. So art is very powerful, has been very powerful to us. Core to our sustainability approach is having a community participation aspect, where all our activities, in fact, I'd say 90% of the people who work at our center and who volunteer the time at our center are members of the community in Kibera. So that's, and they volunteer free of charge, and the ones who are casual staff and who are also on payroll are from Kibera. Because our goal is to create a system where people from the communities that we will be working with can take charge of bringing about transformation in the lives of people with disabilities within their area. So Action Foundation plays a role of empowering the communities to also give back to people with disabilities in their area. So community involvement is key to our sustainability, and also our long-term involvement in where we're working approach. And also we have income generating aspects. We sell cards made by the artwork of the kids that are involved in our art project. So when a child creates an art piece, we will transform it into a greeting card and sell it, and the proceeds will support our activities and also therapy for the child and some of the things that they need. And then we also have a program called PA, where we sell crafts made by the caregivers of the kids. So that's how we look at our approach of working in a sustainable way. So yeah, we have an extremely ambitious campaign to fundraise to set up an inclusive community center for children with and without disabilities in Kibera, and that campaign is called Walk With Me. We're inviting members of the public to join us in our events prior to us launching and groundbreaking and setting up the center. And for that, we'll be having a walk in Karura Forest in December 10th. We're selling t-shirts at 1,000 shillings. That will go towards the construction, and also we're inviting corporates, individuals. You can also donate in kind. If you have bags of cement, if you have sand, ballast, anything that can help us bring up our center, we invite you to join and contribute. We'll also have an event September 14th at the Concord Hotel and Suites in Parklands called Wine Wednesday. Wine Wednesday will be happening all over the world in major cities such as Paris, Cape Town, where people will be coming together to celebrate charities and also give to the charities over wine, hence Wine Wednesday. So we'll be at the Concord Hotel and Suites in Parklands, and we invite all of you to join us and toast to celebrate social good and toast also to the charities while giving something small towards our goal. Since our onset, we've been able to impact the lives of 120 kids through our different programs and approaches. That's therapy and care at our facility here, and also through home-based therapy and also school-based therapy. We've recently partnered with different schools all over Kibera who have children with disabilities, and our team of therapists and myself visit these schools, and we are conducting therapy over there. So since we started, we've been able to impact the lives of 120 kids, and our goal is to impact even more by the end of next year. So if you are extremely passionate about, if you have this idea, like perhaps you want to help someone in your community through different ways, you'd like to set up an initiative such as the one we have here, what I can advise you is that just take the first step, because sometimes people think that for you to start an organization or an initiative, you need a lot of money, you need to be famous, but just start with what you have. Start with your family members. They can contribute something small or even give their time towards what you believe in, and through that you'll have an entry point in what you're doing, and yeah, blessings will come along the way, but you have to have like seriously thick skin, because it's not a glamorous journey. Social entrepreneurship, giving back is not a glamorous journey. There will be pitfalls, but just stick through it and have a thick skin. Know what you believe in and stick by it, and yeah, I'm 100% sure that you will make it.
With the growing trends over the past years, abortion has become a rising community that many fear leads to a lot of deaths among young women. But Nyaguthii Kioi, the founder of Nilibeba Foundation, is teaching young women that you don't have to abort, and teaching them that you can actually keep your child and have a beautiful life. She tells us her story on how she carried her own bundle of joy and is helping other young women find themselves in single motherhood. Hello and welcome back to Take 42 and another take on Chick Chat. Today we look at single motherhood, young mothers and abortion, and how we can alleviate it in society. I'm joined by my beautiful guest who will introduce herself. It's Chick Chat on Take 42.
My name is Nyaguthii Kioi, and I run a foundation called Nilibeba Foundation. It's basically a support group for young moms, especially those who've had it rough, let's say, with their parents. Some have been shunned away, and also the ones who've had problems, the baby daddies. Most of them are single mothers. And then I also work with an organization called Elim Trust. What we do is we have a campaign called Vunja Kimya. We're dealing with gender-based violence in universities. So that's what I mainly do.
All right. So the Nilibeba Foundation, before I go into the gender-based part, do you want to give us like a background story as to why you started Nilibeba Foundation?
When I was 18, I got pregnant, and I was obviously really scared to tell my parents. My parents are split up. I had an auntie come and help me tell my mom. And actually, before I told my mom, she figured it out. She asked me, and she was really supportive about it. Like, she was, don't worry, we're going to figure this out together. I'm going to be by your side. So later, when I was pregnant, a friend of mine got pregnant also. And then she was chased from home by her parents. And I was like, it's really unfair that I have an extremely supportive family. My entire extended family they bought me baby clothes, they used to take me for antenatal, everyone was there. And then other young moms don't have that opportunity.
True.
So I thought I need to create a support group where we can come in together as young moms, be there for each other, encourage each other. And then also, like, the way parenting is really difficult, and sometimes it's awkward to go to older people to ask for advice. So in this group, you can ask fellow young moms, this is happening to my baby, what do I do? How do I go about it? I'm pregnant, I don't know how to tell my parents, or which clinic is cheaper, you know, these issues. Like, basically to have people for you, because there was no such space. Yeah, because we were alone and you need someone to talk to.
So what has been the growth rate for the Nilibeba Foundation?
It's been really good and strong and surprising, because I didn't think there were many young moms out there. But then you tell one person, oh, I want to do this, I want to start this, and next thing you know, you have so many young people calling you and asking you, can I join your organization? Oh, I need new young mom friends. Right now we have about 100.
Wow,
young
that's
moms.
that's a really huge number.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's been in a span of how many years?
1 year.
1 year in 100.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So there's this theory, like, I know when it comes to discussing young mothers, a lot of people would say, oh, if you discuss the matter, you're encouraging young women
Yeah.
to have children. So how do you curb that conversation?
What I usually tell people is, I'm not telling young girls, go and get pregnant, become a young mom. One of our main focus points is actually promoting sex education so that we can try and reduce the number of early pregnancies. But in the event that it does happen, we can't say, no, you're not a part of society anymore. We actually have to deal with it, because the truth is, we can't say no one is ever going to get pregnant early ever again. It's an issue we have to deal with. So we're not advocating for early pregnancy, but we're dealing with it as it happens and just providing support and trying to make young moms realize that abortion isn't always the answer. You can actually grow your baby, you can have your baby, and life does get better. Yeah.
Have you been in circumstances where a girl goes through the Nilibeba Foundation, but she still chooses to abort?
Yeah. And that's been one of my biggest problems, because I didn't know how to deal with it. My first case was one of the young moms called me and said she knows someone who's pregnant, but she's really, really scared and she doesn't know what to do about it. So I got her number and I called her, and I said, we have a mommy mentorship program. So I told her, I'm going to be your personal mentor. I'm going to walk you through it. If you need me to come and tell your parents with you, that's fine. We'll also try and provide counseling for parents to accept. And then she was still really skeptical, and she was with her boyfriend. And the boyfriend was like, no, 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 we're not having a child. And she really wanted to stay in the relationship. So for her, her main focus point was, I need to stay with my boyfriend. What he wants is what goes. So one day I called her to check up on her, how she's going, if she wants me to take her for clinic, and she doesn't answer her phone. I'd taken her housemate's number. So I called the housemate and she tells me, oh, she had an abortion. So it was really, really hard, because that was my first case. And over time you learn that as much as you try to be there for someone, you can't control their ultimate outcome, but you know you did your best. Yeah.
I like how you're dealing with not just the girl and mentoring her, but also you're counseling the parents also and the family. But now, because you've mentioned the boyfriend part, how do you also make sure you involve the male partners and counterparts so that they also understand that abortion may not be the safest thing and the best thing to do for the young mother?
We haven't launched it yet, but we're trying to set up mentorship for fathers, using young fathers who've actually stepped up and accepted their responsibilities and stuck by their children. So we're trying to get them to join and start a mentorship for other young dads. We had a seminar in KU last year, and we had one young father come and speak, just to encourage people that you don't have to run away from your responsibility, because yes, this happened, but you can actually step up. And the thing is, most men, it's out of fear that your life changes. It changes, but not as they expect. You'll still have your friends. If they're true friends, they'll stick by you. And your education continues, life continues, but you need to be responsible and be there for your child. So we just want to get that information out. Yeah.
Before we delve into how we can grow the Nilibeba Foundation and get support for it, do you want to share like your personal experience as a young mom? Because a lot of parents out there, they have young girls and they're like, I hope she doesn't get pregnant. But we also need to tell them, this is what I went through, and in case your daughter goes through it, please support her.
Yeah. Before that, to answer that, what I think is the biggest problem for parents is there's I'm not sure if it's ignorance or denial that your children are grown up and they're more often than not they're engaging in sex. And if you haven't given them the sex education, there's no way you're going to talk about it, and they'll tell you, oh, mom or dad, I have a boyfriend, we're having sex. So this, when you find out they're pregnant, first of all, it's the shock, then the disappointment. And I think when we get past that, when we get to a level where parents and children are open with each other, then that's when we can move forward. Then also where the counseling comes in, to just tell the parents that this happened, but you can't turn away your child. And if anything, a child is a blessing, no matter the circumstance. So you just need to accept and be there, be the support, because literally she doesn't have anyone else. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go into a break before we get into the second segment, but please stay tuned. This is Take Which 2.